So when we were growing up, every Saturday morning was house cleaning day, and my parents both worked full-time and farmed. And so throughout the week, we didn't do a lot of maintenance. So it really came down to Saturday mornings. And I would say looking back, I mean, the house would look like it was trashed. It would look like a wreck. But by noon, my mom and sister and I were usually able to get all the dishes done, everything cleaned up, everything pulled back together. And so even though throughout the week, it would sometimes feel like, oh, we should do more during the week, we shouldn't leave it all till Saturday mornings, at least every Saturday, we were able to get the house reset, cleaned up. And so I say this not to get down on my mom. My mom is one of the hardest working people I know. Like, she's incredible. But what stands out to me now when I look back is that our house was actually pretty manageable growing up. Even though it could start to look very messy and out of control, it actually didn't take that much time to put it back together. And so if you have been feeling very discouraged by your house, like, why can't I keep it clean? Why can't I stay on top of it? Well, you know what I'm gonna say. You're just trying to manage too much inventory still. And if we could get it decluttered, your house is gonna be so easy to keep clean. And I think that's maybe where I've messed up a little bit over the last few years. Is I talk about how our house is peaceful and we enjoy being here, but it's also super easy to keep clean. And so I know we want that, right? But there are places in our house, like this cabinet we're gonna go through together today, that are hanging us up. They are like literally standing between us and a house that's easy to keep clean, and they're very intimidating. So today, I'm gonna show you how we can very easily break down an intimidating spot like this, a catch-all place, the stuff that just has tons of random stuff, how we can very quickly and easily go through it in 5-minute chunks. And it doesn't have to be hard or overwhelming or discouraging. You can do this very quickly and easily. And once you master it in one space, it's gonna be so easy to do it in other areas of your house too. Okay, so my hope today, I'm gonna show you this process of dismantling and going through a catch-all space, a scary space. There's actually a step-by-step process that we can go through. And once you do it in one space, it's just rinse and repeat. Like, you just keep doing it on the other areas. And even better yet, we're gonna do it in 5-minute chunks. So even if you have time limitations, energy limitations, family limitations, we're heading into fall and things start to get really busy, it doesn't matter, because you can literally work on it at 5 minutes at a time, and I'm gonna show you exactly that today. Adeline's always like, what are you doing now? She's just sitting there innocently trying to do her math homework, and I'm like, don't mind me, I'm just gonna declutter this cabinet real quick. This is where we keep like our extra homeschooling stuff. So if it's stuff the kids are like currently using and for their day-to-day, it's on the open shelves behind the girls' desk, but this is where we keep any extra stuff. And so, isn't that just awesome and so organized? So let's tackle this today, and we can visit a little bit while we do so. So you've probably heard me talk about our private mentorship group that we have. And for this whole month of August, we've been talking about how 5 minutes matters. Like I said, I had this like catch-all cabinet here in the middle, and we began working through it this past week. When you're feeling intimidated by a space, like I did not want to do this today. Again, thank you for holding me accountable. But I just go into it and I say, I'm just gonna sort like with like. I'm just sorting like with like, and that's exactly what I've been doing here on the floor. So again, if a space intimidates you, you don't have to fix everything about it right now. Just sort like with like. And so we have very predictable standard steps that we can go through, because that's the scary part, is when we look at this space and we're like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do with this stuff. That's why it's got put here in the first place, right? That's why stuff gets shoved into cabinets and closets, because we don't know what to do with it. And so that's where we need like a very specific process. So step number 1, we are just going to group like stuff with like stuff. I don't have to get rid of anything. If there's obvious trash, throw it in your trash bag. If there's obvious donations, make sure you have your donation box handy. But the main focus here for this first set of 5 minutes is just grouping like stuff with like stuff. Okay, so now typically in the past now, what the problem is that I have all of these piles now, and I've made a bigger mess. And so what I'm gonna do is deal with the piles that I know what to do with. So there's like some memory bin stuff here. I have a pile of garbage and recyclable, some extra school supplies that don't belong in here. And on one hand, this can be intimidating because you're like, Dawn, this is what I've done before. I pull everything out and then it gets left like that, right? We're not gonna do that this time. That's why we're starting in one specific spot, like one cabinet, one drawer, one shelf of a closet. We're not pulling everything out. We are making this manageable. So I am gonna deal with each of these now. Even though I'm not fully done with this space, I don't wanna leave all of these piles. So then step number 2, what we're doing is we are just now looking at the individual piles. Now, they're very small, manageable amounts of things. And so we're taking the bigger project and we're making it smaller and more manageable. The only thing that's actually gonna be left here then when I put this stuff away is some of the school supply stuff that I can easily stick back in here and actually have no mess here. So even though I'm pulling stuff out and sorting it like by like and making piles, I'm still gonna deal with each of these piles now, even though I'm not fully done. Some of it will just get put back in for now, and it's giving me a much better idea of how we'll organize this. And then the other stuff that I want to keep in this cabinet, I'm just setting that aside for now, because what's happening through this process is I'm getting a better idea of what's gonna permanently live in here, so then I can add in some organization. But we're not gonna get to that point yet because we want to fully declutter this. And I don't know, is it just me, or when you've done a little bit, even just got a little bit done on a project, do you feel like you sleep better too? Maybe it's just me. So today's video is sponsored by Helix, and we had a really great question the other day come up, and it said, were you given your Helix mattress? Yes, we were. 2 years ago, Tom and I had been looking for a new mattress, and in that same time frame, Helix reached out to us and said, hey, would you like to try out our mattresses? So we tested it out before we endorsed it. And now here we are 2 years later saying that even if it had not been given to us, we would buy it. We would personally pay the money to purchase this exact same mattress because we sleep so well on it. And so we have had our mattress for 2 years. So I would take off the comforter and show it to you. What I want to show you is that there's actually like no indents, even though we've had it for 2 years. Like you can't see where we sleep. But the first like year and 5 months that we had it, we didn't have a mattress protector on it and it got dirty. And so that's why I don't show it. I don't want to embarrass anyone. I could probably take it off and show it just with the mattress protector on. I'll see. Okay. But what you'll notice is that it still has completely held its shape. There's no divots. When we move, what I really like about it is if one person moves, the other person doesn't feel that. It's just really good support. And so we went online, we took their sleep quiz, which is really nice because they ask you questions. It's a simple quiz, don't worry. But they ask you questions about how you sleep. Are you a side sleeper, back sleeper? What kind of firmness you like, and then they match you with it. And so we were matched with the Helix Dusk Luxe. And what's so great is that they have their 100-night sleep trial. So you get it and you get to test it out too. And then beyond that, it has a 10-year warranty. They're made in the US. Shipping in the US is included with the price of the mattress. And then it's just so convenient how it gets delivered to your door, rolled up in a box. I know, again, you're thinking, it's rolled up in a box and you're saying it's so great. I know, I know, I was skeptical too. So you roll it out, it takes shape, and it really has been the best mattress that we've ever had. So for what it's worth, yes, we would pay full price for this mattress, but you don't even have to. You can use our link down below where you can get up to $200 off your mattress and 2 free pillows, and you might find that you're more energized to do even more decluttering then too. So I can't guarantee it, but it's definitely what we've found. Step number 3, we need to acknowledge how much inventory can we actually manage? So remember my lovely story at the beginning of this video. You know, the whole goal is to have a home that if we let it go the whole week, which we don't want to, that Saturday morning we could get the whole thing pulled back together in an hour or 2. That is, I would describe our house that way. I mean, we try to keep up on it throughout the week now, but if all hell breaks loose throughout the week, we can get it back together in a couple hours on a Saturday morning. Even now too, I'm seeing our old thermostat is in here. I think we had kept it to see if we would use it in a different house, but the problem with things like this is you have to be able to remember that you have it. And even now that I have that organization in place down in the basement, if I go and stick this in one of those bins, like we're not gonna remember. Like I had totally forgotten about this. And so it's a kindness to ourselves if we come across things that we've forgotten, if we'll just let it go, because it has no value to us if we can't remember that we have it to use it, right? So I'm gonna donate this so that someone else could make use of it. And I will have forgotten about this again by this time tomorrow. Well, much sooner than that, but it won't ever come back to me again, right?
Now, again, if it's like, no, that's something I really do need to remember, then we need to find a place for it that we can put it where it's very clearly labeled and we know where it is. But we just can't make everything that type of priority. These are like page dividers. Do you want these anywhere?
I don't know anymore. I have 3 others in a binder already.
Okay, we'll let those go. So again, this felt like really intimidating and scary, but once you actually start breaking it down, it's not actually that bad. So I also have to be like really realistic with myself. Like now I've come across quite a few workbooks, especially for the early years, and it's so easy to acquire that kind of stuff. So like, I think I'm gonna let this book go and I'm gonna keep this one and just try and be like really realistic, because I mean, these have all been down here for quite a while without even being used. And so really realistic if I'm actually gonna use it this year, or if I should just let it go and let someone else make use of it. All right, more paper. Completely empty notebooks. I'll put out the school supplies. And then this basket, I think we might just donate this because we don't use these. So I think we're gonna let that go. Oh, look, another one. And then I just have more like extra school supplies in here.
What we have to do is we have to look at the inventory so much differently than we have in the past. We don't say like, oh, well, we could use it. No, if there's a could in there, it's gone. If there's a, well, someday, no, it's gone. Because to get my home to that point where I can clean the whole thing in a couple hours, I can't have any random inventory. I can't be shuffling stuff around. That's why my house was hard in the past, right? Because of all the extra inventory.
So now we have this all sorted out. And so actually the stuff that I need to put back in here isn't really that much. So in our next video, I'll go through how I kind of want to organize this. I have a huge pile of garbage that I'm just going to go throw away. I have some things to donate, so I'm going to go put those in our current donation box. And really there's not much else to put away here today then. So that actually feels really good. See? These spaces seem so scary, and they're actually not that bad at all. All right.
So what might have hung you up in the past, things of like, oh, but somebody gave this to me. Now you have learned tools and skills to say, no, unfortunately, I can't manage that kind of inventory anymore. If I'm not using it right here for this school year, or if I don't know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'm gonna use it in the next school year, it's gone. I can't manage extra inventory.
I also colored my hair over the weekend. It's always like really dark, like until I wash it like twice, and then it just all fades. So it's the Madison Reed color that you just get in the mail. I don't know. Someday I might change that. For now, it keeps working. Okay, because I went through, I got rid of all the trash. I rehomed stuff that just didn't belong in here. Now I have a better idea of how I want to organize this space, right? So we always declutter first, and then we can come back and add in organization based on, you know, if you know your organizing style. I think that's always helpful. So like Cass always says, stuff stacked up horizontally is not organization. And we know that, right? Like even like this stack of books is more neatly stacked, and it's still hard to see what's there. So it's like that kind of organizer. And so I actually got 2 of them because I want to use one for paper. The printer's right above here, so different kinds of printing paper, and then also just like handwriting paper and scratch paper. And then the other one I actually want to use for workbooks and notebooks, because again, like I said, when they're stacked up like that, it's hard to get out what you need and to see everything that you have. And I did spend a little bit more on them and got ones that were pretty good quality, just because again, I feel more confident that I know this space now and how I want to organize it. So I feel okay spending a little bit more money on it. But if this were still kind of an experiment, I would have just got like a much lighter weight or like one of the cardboard ones and not spend really any money on it, because these were like $30 on Amazon. But I think like I think they will last a really long time.
Now here's something that's kind of wild. If you've been following us for a little while, we remodeled this area of our house and put this counter in place here 2 years ago. I had to look back at the date. I'm like, surely it's only been a year. It has been 2 years since we put these cabinets in here and all of this.
It does seem very sturdy. So why don't we put this up here and see how it's gonna work for this paper that's here.
And so we've been going through our house doing like a reset and refresh, And to tell you the truth, I got a little frustrated when I opened this cabinet and I'm like, what are we doing here? How have I not kept this better organized? What, you know? And I'm like, oh wow, that's actually 2 years worth of accumulation. So it's fair. Like, my friend Tiffany said the other day, she said, I used to get so discouraged when I would think, oh, I already decluttered this. Why do I have to declutter it again? But she's like, as soon as I switched it to saying, no, I just have to reset this space. She's like, I wasn't so hard on myself. I didn't get so down on myself. And I was like, that is brilliant, right? And so we've been going around our house, resetting different areas. And so I'll link to that playlist because it's been really fun and really good.
All right, well, I think that's actually gonna work really well. And then, like I said, I'm gonna put the other one together and put it straight below here. I think that's gonna work pretty well.
But what I tell myself is, you know, when we first put these cabinets in space, I didn't actually know how they were gonna function. So it's okay that now I need to go back, do a little bit of decluttering, and then put in some organization.
So yesterday we put this together, and I actually had it up there. It's really heavy, especially once I added all the paper to it. So I decided that I thought it might be better to put it on a bottom shelf. And then I put the other one together, which went really fast once I had a screwdriver and knew how to put it together. And so I want to put this one next to it and put workbooks and notebooks on it. I measured and this should fit next to it. So actually, this hinge, like, oh, you can't see it. The hinges stick out a little bit further than actually how wide the cabinet is, so I'm trying to figure out what the, oh no, but I measured. Okay, it'll fit if I can figure out how to get it around the hinges here. I should have assembled it in place. Hey, Corbin. I know you're itching to try it, aren't you? You can come around this way and it's like so close.
Oh yeah, this hinge is.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna problem solve here for a minute.
And so there wasn't good organization in here. And so now I know what I'm storing in here and I know better how this space functions. So now I want to add in a little bit more organization. Just got to sneak it in. Yay! See, I knew there was room. Good job, buddy. Thank you.
All right, so Corbin is just getting the screws tightened back in. Good job, buddy. Thank you for helping me with that. It wasn't actually as hard as I thought it was gonna be. Because here I'm like, see, you get so much done in 5 minutes. And then you have to spend 5 minutes taking into that. But all right, now you scoot out of the way so we can see how great this looks. Doesn't that look so nice? Does that look good, Corbin?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like stuff being organized. And then what I want to do is put the workbooks that I'm thinking we're going to use this year. So again, in my other, last week I was saying how I have to be really realistic about what we're actually going to use this year. But I like that this type of organizer is going to limit my inventory. So now I have a container. I'm going to respect the container and only keep what comfortably fits in here.
And like I mentioned, I'm willing to now invest in some nicer organizers. Like these were $30. That's a lot of money to me. But I know they will last a very long time and they're good quality. And I trust myself now with the type of organization I'm putting in because, like I said, it's been 2 years, right? Like I know how I want this space to function.
For the top shelf, again, I don't want it to keep getting piled up with stuff. So this was the school supplies, but I don't actually like keeping the extra school supplies in here because sometimes kids go into it and just keep pulling out extra and extra that we don't actually need. So I actually keep the school supplies in the boys' closet upstairs, but I do just want to keep something here. So I think I'm going to take the school supplies out of this basket. I have a basket upstairs with more school supplies in it. And I am going to keep this basket here because I need some kind of filler there, otherwise stuff is just going to get set there. But I don't necessarily have anything that I need to put in it right now, which just feels very strange. What's in this one still? Oh yeah, and this was just stuff to get put away. That doesn't need to go in there either. So this is kind of where we're landing at, and I just have a few more things here to put away. So that feels awesome and like a really great way to start the school year, so that as we do get, if we get any more materials or stuff, I do like leaving room that we could add more stuff in here too, if we get other stuff, right? So does that look pretty good compared to where we started?
Yeah.
And overall, it probably only took like a half hour total. So if I would have sat down and done it in one shot, I probably could have done it in like a half hour. So that feels pretty good too. And also I tend, if I have empty baskets or bins, then I try and donate them because stuff that holds stuff will hold stuff, and they tend to just fill up again with stuff. So once I feel pretty good about what I have going on here, and these are a pretty low investment, then I go ahead and donate them. And you know, over the last couple of years, I've gotten to spend more time with Dana and Cass with the Take Your House Back course. And what I really appreciate, both of them will say, is that you think that cleaning your house is so hard because it's also including picking up and tidying and decluttering every time you clean, right? It's not actually cleaning. Like if I actually time how long it takes to wash the floor and wipe down the counters and that kind of stuff, it doesn't actually take that long. The problem is, in the past, we always had to pick up everything because every surface was covered before we went to clean. And so again, that's why I just want us to look at this stuff in our house so sober-mindedly. I never want to be wasteful. I don't want to get rid of something only to buy it again. But my experience has been, I get rid of it, I don't ever rebuy it again, and my house is easy to maintain. So it is so win-win, right? So I know the fear. Like I understand it. I am frugal and cheap too. I fully understand it. But I just really believe too that your experience is going to be that you don't miss the stuff and you never end up replacing it. So there's actually not as much risk involved as you might be thinking. And I don't know if I said this enough at the beginning, but like I am not getting down on my mom at all. I mean, look, Mom, you did this right. Like our house had low enough inventory in it that on a Saturday morning we could all tackle it. We would put on, my mom had a mixtape of Amy Grant. I can still hear it in my head. We would put on the Amy Grant, we'd get the dishes going, we'd pull out the Kirby vacuum cleaner, and it wasn't that hard to get it pulled back together. And my parents worked so hard, and they totally had their priorities straight. And so seriously, Mom, I'm not getting down at you at all. I think you did a great job. In fact, may I ask a favor of you? Would you leave a comment for my mom? Her name is Luann. And will you just let her know that she did a great job, but she's still doing a great job today. Her worth is not in what her children have accomplished, right? But if you just want to say hi to her and that you see her and that she's doing well, I think she would greatly appreciate that. So thank you, Mom, for everything you've done and everything you've taught us. We just continue to be so grateful. Okay, so again, we decluttered, we're getting the organization adjusted and in place. We understand that we just have to keep really low inventory for these spaces to function well. And now we're getting to the end, and doesn't this look so much better? And again, it didn't take that much time. Like these were 5-minute chunks of time. And obviously, like I have strong decluttering muscles. I'm much more confident now when I declutter. But let's say it took an hour, right? Wouldn't that still be so worthwhile? And so I just want to encourage you today, this weekend, what area could you tackle today and just spend 5 minutes on? Just 5 minutes. That's really all it took. And Dana's been talking a lot lately too. She was like, don't worry about the next 5 minutes and the consistency and the 5 minutes after that. Just here today, right now, what could you spend 5 minutes on? And it's the getting started. Okay, so have I said 5 minutes enough in this video? I don't know. So I will let that go for now. I trust you understand too. And then I'll let you get to work. I do have another video on 5 minutes that I think is so fun and inspiring. So I will link to that too, as well as a video, my favorite video on how to declutter faster. So other than that, we have tons of ripe tomatoes in our garden, and I like making salsa. I don't like making spaghetti sauce, but I've been making homemade tomato soup, and it is so good, and it's actually super easy. Like you just chop everything up and throw it on a pan, roast it for a little while. You can use an immersion blender, but I just put it in the Vitamix and blend it up, and it is so good. So I'm gonna go get another batch of tomatoes out of the garden and tackle that. So that's my plan for the weekend too. And then also Tom went to get that camper that we bought in the last video, and so we're excited to show that too. I'm really curious to see it and to see like if it's, you know, when you buy something on auction, you just don't know like how nice it's gonna be. So excited to see that too. So we will definitely show you that as well. All right, well, I love you. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon.